This is Doc with Therofan, and the post positions have now been drawn. The horses are on the ground. All of the final preparations and works have pretty much been done. And now, of course, every owner and trainer is crossing their fingers, hoping everything continues to go smoothly until the big day. That's right, Derby 149 is here. And along with Derby 149 comes the question a lot of times, especially in today's racing climate, of what is Churchill Downs and the racing industry doing to ensure the safety of the horses as well as the integrity of the game as far as drug testing and things like that. So I figured I'd go over, at least as best as I could find, what was put out there. Now, remember, HISA was supposed to be kind of doing all of this on a national level through HIWU and the anti-doping medication program, and in theory, they could be doing it. The court order that prevented them from starting the implementation ended on May 1st. However, HISA and HIWU put something out saying that with all of the craziness of some of the Triple Crown races and everything, they decided to wait and to start implementation on May 22nd, I believe the date is now. So no HISA as far as the medication side of things goes, no HIWU as far as the anti-doping medication side goes. HISA still, as far as I know, is in charge of the safety and regulatory aspect of things and all the things that they control under their program, and of course we've gone over that multiple times. So HISA will still have oversight of things, such as track safety and crop use, all of those things. So you can check their website out for that. So it looks like, looking at as far as things that I could find, that a lot of the other, safety and integrity measures for the horses, some of that will revert back to Churchill Downs and the Kentucky Horse Racing Commission, at least for the Derby and all of the races going on the Derby weekend, Friday and Saturday. So looking at some of them, I'm going to kind of try to highlight some of the big things that popped out to me, and the first of which is, if you're running in the Derby or the Oaks, this is being recorded on Tuesday. You had to be on the grounds of Churchill Downs by the time of post-position draw yesterday. So if for some reason your horse isn't there, they ain't running. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Apparently all horses are on the ground, so that's good. As soon as the horses did get on the ground, they were starting to be put under 24-hour surveillance. Now, if it was the Derby horses actually have security personnel that will be watching them 24 hours a day. For the Oaks horses, in addition to the Derby horses, but specifically for the Oaks horses, they will be under video surveillance for 24 hours a day. And starting, I believe it is today or tomorrow, there will actually be entrance and exit logs that mark and track everything that was done to the horse 24 hours a day by the security personnel. So any veterinary records have to be turned over to the KHRC, and those have to be updated daily. So any treatments or anything like that were done for the horses has to be monitored, has to be noted, and of course has to be submitted to the Horse Racing Commission and the regulatory veterinary staff there. Now, in addition, Lasix, can't use it in stakes races, folks. So all of the horses that are running in stakes races are not allowed to have any medications in their system or be given any medications 24 hours prior to their race. So no Lasix, no other medications. Veterinarians are really not going to be allowed in the stalls of these horses 24 hours prior to post time. If they do have to go in for any kind of reason, that is going to be noted, and if it is to go ahead and give a treatment or do anything, the stewards then will be notified and most likely scratch the horse. Out of competition testing. All of the horses in the Derby and the Oaks have been submitted to out-of-competition testing, and this tests for a myriad of different substances. And according to the website that I've seen, up to at least 50% of the horses that are competing in the minor stakes races on the undercard, which really aren't minor when you think about it, some really great undercard races and grade ones as well, they will be subjected to out-of-competition testing. In addition to the Derby horses and the Oaks horses. Now, security personnel, as I said, are also going to be escorting the horses anywhere that they go. So if they go to the paddock for schooling, if they go out for training in the morning, there will be a security guard with them at all times. Kentucky Horse Racing Commission veterinarians, and you know that Churchill Downs and the KHRC are going to be bringing in a lot more veterinarians to watch these horses as they're training, as they're cooling out, as they're working. And at any other time to make sure these horses are as sound as they can possibly be. The morning of the race, all horses are going to undergo a mandatory exam by a registered and regulated veterinarian, and they're going to be looking for any minor sign that there might be something off with that horse, and the veterinarians will have the right to scratch the horse if they do find something is wrong. And, that has happened in the past, a couple of times, sometimes right up until the point of, the morning of the race itself. A horse comes up with a foot bruise or a minor injury or things like that. So the horses definitely be monitored there. They're going to be monitored in the paddock by veterinarians. They're going to be monitored out on the track by veterinarians, and they're going to be monitored definitely after the race by veterinarians as well. So veterinarians are going to have their eyes on these horses constantly, and they're going to be doing everything they possibly can to go ahead and make sure that these horses are as safe and as healthy as they possibly can be out there racing. Another thing that people sometimes ask about is jockeys. Well, the jockeys are going to be wanded to make sure there's no electrical devices, no buzzers, anything like that going on, so that there will be no kind of increase in stimulatory effort, shall we say, being put forth by the jockeys on their mounts. And that's pretty standard now at a lot of racetracks. They've been looking for these buzzers using metal detectors and wanders and things like that. And you'd have to really be kind of pretty stupid as a rider to even try to attempt that in a race like the Kentucky Oaks or the Kentucky Derby. So I'm just going to check to make sure here that I didn't miss anything kind of crucial. One thing also that pops up, should a horse unfortunately be injured or suffer any kind of illness or anything like that, there will be a trained team of veterinarians, of course, on standby for that purpose. They will have multiple what they call Kinsey ambulances, which are pretty much state-of-the-art and top of the line to transport the horse either to the medical facility that Churchill Downs has on their backside, or of course you are in Louisville and Kentucky. There are a ton of world-class veterinary hospitals very close to Churchill Downs, and of course they can be transported there if need be as well. Finally, a lot of people are going to ask about medication. And of course these horses, all the horses in the Oaks and the Derby, and I believe the stakes races too, although I'm not 100% sure, approximately 30 minutes to post are actually going to have blood drawn to check for carbon dioxide levels to make sure that no horses were milkshaked. This is where a bicarbonate substance is kind of put down into their stomach through a stomach tube, designed to kind of buffer the lactic acid that builds up during racing in the muscles and helps prevent fatigue in the horse. And again, you'd really have to be stupid to try to do that in a race like the Oaks or the Derby or any of these other grade ones, but they will actually be testing for it. And then, of course, all of the Derby horses and Oaks horses will have post-race testing drawn as well, where over 1,500 substances will be tested for, through a very state-of-the-art and accredited lab. So, of course, all of those tests will be monitored. They will be run. They'll probably be fast-tracked because we normally know the results a couple of days after the Derby, if all the horses cleared their drug tests, which is a lot shorter of a time frame than we normally see with a lot of races, where sometimes it can be a week or a week and a half. So usually by the Monday after the Derby, Tuesday at the latest, we know whether all of those horses are going to be declared clean of any performance-enhancing drugs or any other substances that are not allowed to be in their system at various levels on race day. And of course, that's what happened with Medina Spirit a couple of years ago, where it was almost, I believe it was the Sunday after. They were running it that quick, the Sunday or the Monday after, where that test popped positive. And that still is being litigated, and we at Thoroughfan are working on a kind of like a timeline on that to let everybody know where that stands, and that should hopefully be coming out soon. So hope that kind of just gives a little bit of an answer as to exactly what's being done for the horses, for the integrity, for the safety of everybody participating. We really hope that it's going to be a great 2 days of racing. Judged on the cards that were drawn, it really is. And we're hoping for, great weather, fast track, firm turf, make sure that all of the horses get clean trips and that they all come back safe and sound. As for my Derby pick, this may change by the time post time comes around, but right now, really, I have stuck with Sun Thunder from the time I saw him win his maiden race, and I'm just hoping the blinkers will add a little bit to him. He's looked really great in training, and I know he's going to be bombs away on the board, but hey, I'm not a chalk kind of player, so I am going to go with Sun Thunder as my Derby pick, and I think underneath I'm going to be doing a little bit with Rocket Can, maybe Forte, Tapatrice, Disarm, all those horses kind of underneath, but I'm hoping that Sun Thunder brings a thunder on Derby Day and takes home the roses. So Hope everybody has a wonderful Derby weekend and really enjoys the races for fans new and old. And we, of course, Thoroughfan will be following all the action. Be sure to check out the newsletter that I'm sure will be coming out with a lot of our top handicappers picks for the Derby and some of the undercard races as well. And that's about going to do it. So, as always, I am Doc for Thoroughfan. And if you are looking for the most accurate and up-to-date information about this great sport of thoroughbred racing that is produced and put on solely by us, the racing fans, for you, the racing fans, there's only one place you got to turn, and that is to Thoroughfan.